Yo, 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 it's your boy Joe, and you tuning into another dope episode of the Co-Pilots Podcast, man. Unfortunately, tonight, Greg could not get on. We was trying to get something where he can come on, but unfortunately, he had some trouble getting on, some equipment issues, things like that. So I hope he tuning into the show tonight. Hope all is well out down the road. You know, he a truck driver, so you know what I'm saying? We're gonna get right to the business, man. And tonight, man, we're gonna be talking about week one NFL talk, bro. It's in the books, man. You know, this weekend, for far as football, bro, I thought it was some great games that came on the NFL, man. Now, I do think it was a lot of sloppy QB play this week. But man, let's get right into some of the games, man. And the first game we want to talk about tonight, man, I want to talk about the my hometown team, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jacksonville Jaguars, they won 26 to 10 against the Carolina Panthers, man. And one thing I'm gonna say about this game is that although the Jacksonville Jaguars won, bro, but it is a lot of bad play that I seen from this team, bro. Like, and I think for me as a fan, bro, I was not really impressed with this win. It was some things that I saw that I felt like we're gonna have to do better next week. I think we play the Bengals next week, so like we're gonna have to clean up a lot of things. So let's get right into some of the pros of what I did like about this game against the Carolina Panthers. I like the defense. The defense actually played pretty well, man. Uh, you know, Forcing two turnovers, possibly three turnovers, a pick six that got called back. The defense actually held his own, man. And I think, the calling card for this Jacksonville Jaguars team this year is going to have to rely on the defense, man, because I think the defense is kind of going to be like complementary football in the sense, man, like the defense is going to feed off the offense and the offense is going to feed off the defense. Defense is going to feed it, vice versa. Good complementary football, special teams as well. And I think the defense did a good job. Now, early on, Bryce Young was moving the ball downfield. Terry McMillan, who they got, the rookie, the guy, he got off a few plays. But overall, I thought the Jacksonville Jaguars defense was able to contain him. Another thing was special teams. Like I say again, our special teams is going to be probably one of our strongest units on this team. Walker Little, he's a weapon. You know what I'm saying? We seen he can kick from 70 yards out. So we don't need much to get in the field goal range. So I think overall the special teams played good as well. Offensively, some of the things we did well. I like the running of Travis Etienne. He ran hard, over 100 something yards. He clearly solidified himself as running back one in this room. And with the trade of Kate Bigsby being traded to the Philadelphia Eagles, I do feel like as well that that he solidified himself as he's gonna be the guy for this team. And you know, just he's gonna be that guy to help the younger running backs come along, like LaQuint Allen and Tootin and those guys. So let's segue into some of the negatives, man. I didn't like Trevor Lawrence play. I gotta call it how it is. When I look at his stats, man, I'm gonna pull up his stats right now here. And I didn't really like his play, man. I mean, when you just look at how it was on yesterday, man, one of those that interception was a bad interception, man. I mean, real bad interception, man. When I say bad interception, that was bad. It did not look good. And that's something Trevor got to do better, dog. He has to play better in that moment, man. He got to play better, bro. And just looking at some of the player stats, just looking at no Trevor Lawrence, he went 19 to 31, 171 yards, one interception, one touchdown, bro. With that, man, for me, bro, I just felt like Trevor could have played a lot better. There was some throws he took off. Again, red zone struggles with the offense, not pushing the ball in the end zone. You got to be able to punch it in, man. Some of the same things on the offensive side that I saw with this Jacksonville Jaguars team that that I saw with this team, on Sunday, man. And I think if you're going to be playing against the Bengals, bro, we gonna have to tighten up, bro. We gonna have to tighten up and goddamn address these issues, man. Because like I said again, bro, like when you look at the situation, man, when it comes to the Jaguars, dog, Liam Cohen has been coming here to basically to save Trevor Lawrence his quarterback career. And right now it's not looking good. That interception, man, was a bad interception. You got the running back running, got Travis Hunter running wide open. You got to be able to put that ball on the mark, man. You got to. You can't underthrow that. That's something that a rookie would do at this point in Trevor Lawrence's career. He should not be throwing interceptions like that, man. You know what I'm saying? Okay, the tip drills, things of that nature, we get it. But that throw that Trevor Lawrence made on Sunday, that was not a good throw, man. So, you know what I'm saying? We got the dub, but it's a lot that has to be cleaned up offensively, I feel like, for this Jacksonville Jaguar team to succeed in this 2025 season, man. We know the game, this team is going to be a run first team. And I like the fact that Liam Cohen is like, you know what? I'm going to take the pressure off, let Trevor put it in the running backs. But when you're being called upon to make the plays, Trevor, you got to make those plays. And that was one of those plays you had to make, man. And I say again, man, you know, if I had to give a grade for Trevor Lawrence for his performance, I'm gonna give it a B, man. A B minus. Overall as a team, I thought the Jaguars played B minus, you know. It was times where I felt like, you know, in the secondary that they could have played well. They gave up a lot. But I say overall, team effort, I want to give them a B minus. And like I said, some stuff that got to be cleaned up. You know, next week we're going against the Bengals. T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, these wide receivers, they're gonna be aggressive, and they're gonna get off, man. And can our corners handle, man? Will Travis Hunter be a part of the defensive game plan moving forward? Defensively next week against the Bengals, I see him playing a bigger role on the defensive side next week, being that, you know, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins are big wide receivers, and I think that these guys are they're gonna need Travis Hunter to come and play a bigger role in the on the defensive side next week against the Bengals. But I think overall, you couldn't ask anything better for the Jaguars, man, as far as getting the win. That's what we asked. But there's some things got to get cleaned up. There's a lot of sloppy play. And again, week one of the NFL tends to be a glorified preseason game in a sense. And you saw this, like I said, across the league. You know what I'm saying? Just a lot of bad play, man. And so I think, you know, the Jacksonville Jaguars can clean this up. And I think, you know, I hope to see a better showing in week 2. But to talk about the trade a little bit, we know we did see the trade that Tank Bigsby was traded to the Philadelphia Eagles. And again, man, I think this trade, and I talked about this on my live stream on TikTok early on today, where I just talked about, I think this trade was just basically to say, hey, man, Travis Etienne, this is your room. You the running back one. And you know what I'm saying? It's your room. You're going to get these guys up to speed. You're going to be the guy to make sure these guys, you know, they learn from you, and you're going to get the bulk of the carries. And I think that's what Travis Etienne wanted. I know a lot of us thought Travis Etienne would be dealt because we do have a deep running back room. You look at the running backs that we have on this roster, man. All these guys are special. From Tootin, you know, his speed, LaQuint Allen, his ability to catch the ball out of the backfield. You know, all these guys, man, can, you know, be big dividends and can help this Jacksonville Jaguar offense, you know. And I think Leon Cohen got, you know, he got a plan on how to use these guys. All these guys played on Sunday. So I can see throughout most of the season that it's going to be running back by committee, but Travis Etienne will get the bulk of the reps at running back, you know, and he deserves it. Like I say, man, you know, I don't know how true that statement was that he put out, that he want to prove something and he want to be in Jacksonville. And I want a guy that want to be in Jacksonville too. And he want to rep the city, rep Duval, and put on, man. Let him do that. So, you know, I salute it. You know what I'm saying? I support the move, man. And we got some draft capital. You know, we did lose a little bit of draft capital, Travis Henry. So we did a little bit of that back. 5th and 6th round pick. Ain't nothing to rave about, but hey, some of your best players can be in the late pick. So, you know, any draft capital is good, man. So, you know, I ain't gonna beat that up. I'll be talking about later on this week my Jacksonville Jaguars when we talk about the games later on in the week, you know, throughout the week or whatnot. You know, still early on, so probably by Thursday, Friday, you know, I'm gonna give my recap, my predictions on the game and what I think expect from both teams when it comes to the Bengals and the Jaguars, whatnot, man. So let's say it went to some NFL talk, man. And week one recap, man. There was some great games out there, man. One game that stuck out to me, man, which I thought was probably one of the better games week one, was the Steelers and the Jets, man. I thought that was a good game with two quarterbacks that had a lot to prove, man. You look at Justin Fields, man, just what he went out there. He wanted to show like, hey, man, Steelers, man, y'all let up on me. You know what I'm saying? That y'all gave up on me too soon. And he went out there and he performed well for the Jets, man. They didn't get to win. Aaron Glenn, first time head coach. I think the Jets are in good hands, man. I think you saw the offense go up and down the field on a pretty solid Steelers defense, man. And then vice versa with the Steelers, man. They went up and down on a pretty solid Jets defense. You know what I'm saying? They're 1 year removed from Robert Saleh, man. We know what he had that defense looking like. I think Aaron Glenn is going to just add dividends to it. So just looking at that game, man, I thought that was probably one of the better games on, man. Both quarterbacks played well. Both teams, it was a fight to the finish. A little chippiness. Jalen Ramsey, Garrett Wilson, quarterback hit. They was trading. It was a good game, man. And I think both teams set themselves up, good for the season, man. Like I say, Steelers right now, if the Aaron Rodgers continue to play this way, this team could be one of the top teams in the AFC. Now they still playing a tough division with the Ravens, Bengals. Cleveland Browns didn't look bad on yesterday as well, too. Playing against the Bengals, man. We'll talk about them. But you know what I'm saying. I thought it was a good game, man. Two teams that can hold their head up high and say, hey, man, there's a lot they can learn from these games. But again, man, I look at both of those teams. They both played well and probably one of the better games. Like I say, Aaron Rodgers had to show and prove, man. And Aaron Rodgers did his thing, man. When it came to, the Steelers, I know at first it looked like he wasn't. It looked like Justin Fields was outshining him. But then, later in the game, he got his rhythm. It looking like right now. And it just seems to me that the Steelers are signing a lot of vet guys. There's reports out there right now that Tyreek Hill might be on the market for the Steelers, man. If that happens, man, this is a veteran team, man, that could, with the right coach guy like Mike Tomlin could get these guys to go on a push, man. You got a guy like Tyreek Hill, Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Rodgers, all these guys are seasoned veterans, all on one team and on one goal. I can see this Steelers team, really, surprising a lot of teams. Right now, I'm not a believer of it yet. It's only week one. It's nothing to really freak out about. The season is not over with. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing to panic about. But to say the first game, Steelers look good, man. And all of the people that they picked up acquisitions like Jalen Ramsey paid dividends. Aaron Rodgers paid dividends. Your boy, the wide receiver, DK Metcalf, he made some plays. So everybody, the acquisitions that they brought in so far is paying dividends. Just hope that they can keep it up, man. Like I said again, they're playing a hard division. As far as the Jets, man, I still think they're the second best team in the AFC East, man. Looking at the way they played, looking at how Miami played in their season opener, and what the Patriots look like, bro. I can see the Jets being the second best team in the AFC East, man. Like I say, I like what Aaron Glenn is doing over there with that team, man. He had those boys ready to play. And they fought to the bitter end, man. Like I said, that game could have went either way, man. Unfortunately, the Steelers got the win. But if you're a Jets fan, you have to be excited about what you saw because you didn't see that a lot last year. 32 points in the first game. I don't know how many times they scored 32 points last year as a Jets. But the offense looked a night and day difference under your boy Justin Fields and Aaron Rodgers, man. So another game we got to talk about, man, and we talking about quarterback play. Let's talk about the Jets and the Redskins game, man, because I watched a lot of that game because where I was at, the Jaguars game was on a rain delay for about an hour, so we seen most of the Redskins in the Giants game. And watching that game, bro, I think it's time for Russell Wilson to hang it up, bro. I think, what we saw from Russell Wilson this Sunday was horrible. He played like a rookie quarterback. If you look at how Jayden Daniels played and how Russell Wilson played, you would think that Russell Wilson was the rookie quarterback because the way he played on Sunday, bro, it was like I mean, I'm just watching him play. He was just real erratic with his throws. It's like, bro, what are you doing, man? Like, get rid of the ball, bro. It looked bad. You got Neighbors on the sideline, Malik Neighbors frustrated with you, looking at you crazy. And this guy's pretty chill, man. For him to be like that, bro, it's bad. And if I'm a guy like, Brian Dable, who's coaching for his job this year, man, I think I would roll out Jackson Dart. Now, still, like I say, it's still week one. It's nothing to panic about. But if you roll out Russell Wilson and he looks like that again, you gotta bench him, bro. Because you like I say, Dable is playing for his job. Jackson Dart looked good in the preseason. We talked about it on the podcast. He was probably one of the best quarterbacks, as far as rookie quarterbacks in the preseason that looked good. Outside Shedeur, his debut, Jackson Dart was pretty consistently good throughout the preseason. You got to look at that as you Dabo and think, hey man, I might need to give him a spin this week because I would give him say the first half of the next game, maybe first quarter of the next game. Offense still not clicking. You still can't get Neighbors the ball. You still can't get the offense going. You got to get him up out of there. Both times he got his guys in the red zone and they couldn't finish with touchdowns. They had to finish with field goals, man. And I look at that game, they lost 21-6. You score one touchdown, that could change the whole dynamics of that game. You got to think too, man. The Giants defense, man, they got some dogs out there. Brian Burns, Dexter Lawrence. You went and go drafted the boy from Penn State. And I mean, you got dogs out there. And these guys kept them in the game for the most part. Russell Wilson didn't hold his end of the deal. And like I say, man, if you got damn Dabo, bro, now I'm like, bro, we gotta do something about that, man. Because, hey, man, you in the NFC East right now, man. And I'm looking at the quarterbacks. All the quarterbacks are playing well. Dak played well in losing effort. Jayden Daniels played well. You got your boy Jalen Hurts, Super Bowl winning quarterback. They played well and won. So you got all these quarterbacks that are playing solid quarterback play. And of all the quarterbacks in the NFC East, he played the worst, man, of all quarterbacks. And so, man, like I say, man, if I was Dabo, man, hey, man, you on a short leash, bro. You come out week 2 looking like this, bro. I'm gonna press you for the rookie. Or if you still don't trust the rookie, you got Jameis Winston, man. You know what I'm saying? You got veterans, so you don't have to roll Jackson Dart out there week 2. If you're scared, you don't think he's ready, you got Jameis Winston for that. But right now, man, I think Winston would be better right now because he looked bad, man. And speaking of bad quarterback play, man, let's talk about the Miami Dolphins, man. Tua, bro. I dropped the video early on my platforms. Gil's Arena, not the gridiron. He got his little show, whatever he doing, and they was talking about Tua. Man, Tua looked by far the worst starting quarterback in the NFL on Sunday. The worst. He looked bad. I'm talking about, man. I don't know, man, what you do with Tua, bro. It's clearly the team morale is getting bad because the guy is not playing up to par. And I mean, what can you do, bro? I mean, my mic going dead, so I gotta go turn this off. So my mic's dead. So we're gonna have to talk through my camera mic now. So, like I was saying, man, Tua looked bad, man. He looked real bad. And I don't know what you're gonna do with Tua, bro, as far as if you're gonna keep him as your franchise QB or you take a loss, man. Because I mean, you be honest with you, Tua and Trevor Lawrence kind of the same similar situation in my opinion. These guys are in years where they've got their money, but there's still a secret out. Is they the guy? Is they the franchise guy? And right now, Tua ain't looking like that guy. With all the injuries to head concussions, things like that, you got to really be asking yourself, like, man, what can you do? Getting rid of Tyreek Hill is not going to fix your issue. Getting rid of, people, your weapons is not going to fix your issue. I think the biggest thing right now is you got to get rid of quarterback in this situation because, you got Waddle, who's a fast guy. You got pieces on this team. The quarterback is the only problem, in my opinion. So in this situation, if I'm, Mike McDaniel's owners, man, I gotta look at Tua and give an honest assessment, bro. Can he get the job done? And right now, I don't think he can get the job done right now, man. He just look horrible out there, man. The secret's out on him, man. Take away his first read, you make him beat you with another quarter, with another, and he struggles. And so, Miami's got to do some soul searching. This team still looks soft from last year. They can't stop the run. Teams are running on. They can't do nothing right, man. Everybody's saying that they was trying to fix that narrative of being a soft team, but they came out week one and got slapped in the mouth. And you actually got to look at Mike McDaniels as well, man. Is he the right guy? You know, you got people out there that feel like you got rid of a guy like uh Brian Flores, who's a hard nosed guy, holding players accountable for a guy like Mike McDaniels, who want to be buddy friendly with his team players, and they're not getting the results. You had that one good year where they lit it up, but since that first year, him being taking over as head coach, Mike McDaniels has struggled as a head coach, man. And the identity of this team is that they're soft. Until they can erase that, team's gonna continue to still continue to punch them in the mouth, man. So let's talk about some more games across the league, man. Let's talk about the game that happened last night, Monday night game, man. The the Vikings versus the Bears, man. I thought this game was pretty good. And it was like a tale of two halves, because you look at what uh Caleb Williams was able to do in the first half. Man, this guy couldn't do no wrong, man. He was running, scrambling, getting it out. He looked good, and it looked like Ben Johnson had fixed this guy. But then in the second half, what happened was the Minnesota Vikings stop taking away the easy throws, and they say we're gonna make you beat you with his eyes and beat you with your arm, and he couldn't do that, man. And what ended up ultimately happening was, you know, Caleb Williams, he couldn't get it done, man. I thought he played well the first half, putting up 17 points. I think he got shut out the second half, man. They couldn't get nothing going. And a lot of had to do with Brian Flores' adjustments on the defensive side, taking away those easy throws. And when he made Caleb Williams have to think and make him have to go through his second and third progressions, he couldn't get it done, man. And as bad as JJ McCarthy played the first half and shit held up until the third quarter. I mean, he threw a pick six. You know what I'm saying? It looked bad. It looked like, hey man, like they was gonna be missing goddamn your boy they got over there, Sam Darnold. But in the fourth quarter, Sam Darnold, the light bulb hit, and he outperformed Caleb Williams in the fourth quarter. It was a great game, man. I was ready to write Ben Johnson, doing my little story piece on Ben Johnson and Liam Cohen, who had the best victory, new head coaches out of Liam Cohen and Ben Johnson. But I couldn't write that because, again, like I say, the Bears ended up losing. But I think when you look at Caleb Williams, man, it's some things that he still need to work on, man, as far as his progressions, man. And I think teams are going to look at this game as a blueprint. Hey, let's take away the easy throws from Caleb Williams. Have him scramble around. We put a spy on him. And ain't nothing he can do. He's ineffective. And like I said again, man, I'm not trying to really harp it down on these guys because, again, bro, it's still just week one, bro. Week one, it's still a long season of NFL football. So I don't want to make it seem like there's no fixing these quarterbacks that I'm talking about, because they all can be fixed. You know what I'm saying? But just looking at the optics of it, and you looking at from what you see from last year, you see a lot of some of the same things that these quarterbacks did last year that they haven't fixed. And I think that could be a little concerning for a fan base when going into the new season, you expect to see new things from your team. And when you're starting to see some of the same similar things from the Bears when it comes to Caleb Williams or his progression. Like I say, he's getting the ball out. He wasn't holding on to the ball, which I will say that's one of the positives. He was getting the ball out. But once that the defense had made those adjustments, he had to be able to make the adjustments. And I think that's what, when it comes to being a good quarterback in this league, is understanding how to make adjustments when the defense make adjustments. When they made those adjustments last night on Caleb Williams, taking away his check down throws, taking away those easy throws, Caleb Williams struggled. He scrambled. He might have held on to the ball a little bit too long. and he didn't do he was ineffective. So I say that to say that that yeah, man, he still got some more work to do, man. Ben Johnson looked good as a I think offensively the offense looked well first half, but again, it's still some more to be desired out there. But as far as the Vikings, man, you know, you can ask for a better game for that, man, for your young quarterback, because technically this guy's a rookie. He didn't play not one snap last year. Uh, he came in there, he fought through adversities, and then he got the dub, man. That's all you can ask for from a young quarterback. It's a lot that he can work on. A lot can be coached up, and that's the beautiful thing about when you get a win, when you know your quarterback didn't play particularly well. Because now you can go into that film study, and now you can go in that room and be like, hey, no, this what these great things you did good, and this what we can coach up on. You know what I'm saying? Get you right, get you ready for the next game. And I think JJ McCarthy with this type of win can build a lot of confidence, going forward for the rest of the season, man. The quarterback can play on the lead right now, man. And on the side note, man, it's just different now, man. It's not a lot of like, the Peyton Mannings of the world, the Tom Brady's, how they was able to just pick apart defenses, even when there's a chess match going between defensive coordinator and the quarterback. You don't really see that a lot now with the quarterbacks. A lot of these quarterbacks now, they kind of, do what the offensive coordinator tell them as far as with the reads and things like that. There's no off script, no improvising. Okay, I'm gonna think beyond what my offense coordinator doing. Things like that. So the quarterback play has gotten very bland. But again, that's another note. I don't know why I started talking about quarterback play, but on another note, that they got the win. The Vikings, man. And I think it was a good win, man. Let's talk about some other games on. Let's talk about. Let me pull up my notes here. The rest of the week one games, because after that week one games, I'm gonna go start talking about some college tonight. I want to talk about a little bit of college football as well. You know, looking at some scores. Okay, so let's talk about the Chiefs Charger game, man. That's another game that I want to discuss, because I think right now, just looking at on the surface right now, the Chiefs are in trouble. And I say that because when you look at the way the offensive line was protecting Mahomes on Friday night, I felt like that it was the Chargers had the same game plan as the Eagles, where they came in, you know what I'm saying, and they just they blitzed them, man. I mean, Mahomes was running for his life most of the night that game, man. And I want to say Mahomes was the leading rusher for this team, if I'm not mistaken. And that's not good if your quarterback is leading rusher. Now, there's a difference. Lamar Jackson's skill set type, we know what Lamar Jackson do, but in this particular offense, I don't think Mahomes should be the leading rusher. And offensive line issues is still glaring with this team. And I think that that's something that's going to have to get addressed moving forward with this Chiefs team, man. Because again, man, they did not look great defensively. I thought they played well, but Justin Herbert did enough, and he looked good too in his opening as well, man. Looked like a top quarterback, man. Looked like he got something to prove this year. I'm gonna be on the lookout for Justin Herbert, see how he's do. We know how this team kind of starts off slow. They're another one of those teams that start slow and then they pick it up in. But I think this year they're putting an emphasis on starting fast, along with the Bengals as well, trying to get off to a fast start. But the Chargers look good, man. The Bengals, I mean the Chiefs, I think they got some soul searching to do offensively, O-line, receivers, drops. That's something that for the last couple years, this Chiefs team, they've been bad with drops. I think what it was, 2 years ago, they was leading drops. And they ended up winning the Super Bowl that year. But still, this has been an ongoing problem with the Chiefs. Wide receivers dropping the ball. And they got to get that figured out, man. But I think, with a guy like Andy Reid, Pat Mahomes, the organization, man, they'll be fine. I think they'll bounce back again week 2 and they'll get that win. But right now, they look bad, man. Against elite teams, the teams that got a pass rush, they may struggle. You know what I'm saying? And I think, right now I don't think they're the favorites in my opinion in the AFC. I know they still the kings of the AFC. They've been that for the last couple of years. But right now, they're just looking at the first game of the season. I gotta say that the Chiefs do not look good, and I think that they need to be concerned mainly on the offensive line. As far as the Chargers, man, they look good. Can they be this year? Can they be the team to dethrone these guys in the AFC West? I think they can. They got the right coach in John Harbaugh. They got Jim Harbaugh, John, whatever, one of the Harbaugh brothers. You got the quarterback in Justin Herbert, who's elite. He got paid elite. Keenan Allen is back over there, somebody that I think had a lot of success with Justin Herbert. And the defense, man, guys like Dillon James, man, these guys are, hey, I think they can get it done this year, man. They got one win. They got it, bro. That's who they open up with. Let me see who they got week 2, man. Can they do it? Because I think they can, man. They open up with Chargers. They got the Raiders. So they open up with 2 AFC West opponents. I think they can start off 2-0. I mean, I like them. I mean, just early pick right now, I would go with the Chargers to beat the Raiders. I don't, what I'm saying? Geno, he played all right, but I mean, I like the Chargers right now. But I think, this might be the year that the Chargers, up be winners of the AFC West. Now, I'm not saying that the Chiefs can't make it to the playoffs because I still think they're a playoff team. They're too good not to be a playoff team. But I will say that they look good, man. For the first game, they look good, man. Chargers look good, man. Straight up. So let's talk about another game I was wanting to talk about, stick to, man. We talked about the Giants game. We kind of talked about the Eagles game. But I'm gonna go back to the Thursday night game. Then I think I'm gonna segue into to some college football because I think I talked about all the big games. Most of the games we kind of know how they went. I do got to talk about one game though too. Before I talk about the Eagles game, the Eagles and Cowboys game. Now, I'm just gonna say this, and I'll keep it short with the Cowboys and Eagles game. CD lost that game. There's no way CD Lamb lost that game. No way around it. He took full responsibility for that game. He know he got to do better, bro. He know he got to perform better, and he know that in those moments you talking about you a top 5 receiver, bro. Top 5 receivers don't miss catches like that. And it wasn't on that, dog. That dropped you 2 bread basket passes in your hand, and you dropped it. You got to finish up with those, dog. You got to, man. Ain't no way around it, man. No excuses, man. Dallas played well enough to win that game. I felt like it was more the Eagles. I felt like it was more the Dallas gave them that game than the Eagles won it because I felt like the Eagles, stagnating on offense. The addition of Tank from the Eagles. I mean from Green Bay. The D line they got from Green Bay. That guy paid dividends because he was getting pushed all night in the back of and he was in the Eagles backfield all night, and I think that kind of disrupted their offense a little bit, and I think it affected Jalen Hurts a little bit too as well. But I was feel like that game that it was more that the Cowboys lost that game because the Eagles did not particularly play fairly well that game. They did enough to win, obviously, but the Cowboys should have won that game. That game that was a game they had to win. They should have won it, but again, CD Lamb on that game. As far as the Eagles, man, they did sign my boy Tank Bigsby. Don't know why. Is Saquon struggling with an injury or what? Eagles fans, I don't know all the details. So if there's any Eagle fan online or if you hear this podcast, get on in the comment section. Let me know why did they go get Tank Bigsby? Is it a shortage of running backs? Is Saquon hurt? I don't know because, like I say, the news shocked us in Jacksonville that you guys went and got him because he's, like I say, he is a running back too. So it was like, for you guys to give up a 5th, 6th pick and for Jaguars to willingly give Tank Bigsby up, knowing that, what he did last year, says that we feel confident in our running back room. But also to me, on the flip side for the Eagles, is like, what you guys need. Is it depth? Is it backup? I don't know, man. So, any Eagle guys, y'all let me know, why did y'all get Tank Bigsby? But again, the Eagles, man, they the Super Bowl champs, man. They did what they had to do. Jalen Carter got kicked out for spitting. Now, there is a conspiracy about this spitting thing with Jalen Carter and Dak Prescott. Now, there are videos out there that's showing Dak Prescott spitting first. And they're saying that's the reason why Jalen Carter spit, because Dak Prescott. Now, looking at both videos, from my perspective, I feel like Jalen Carter was still in the wrong. Because although Dak did spit, Dak might have spit in his direction, but he did not spit on him or spit towards him in that close vicinity. Like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all face to face them now. You know what I'm saying? You spitting. So I feel like, know that feel like that was more of a sign of disrespect than Dak just spitting in this direction, because he could have just been spitting. Not saying that it was acceptable, but he just could have just been spitting, just spit. Some guys spit, in their mouth, whatever, nerves, whatever, for the game, ritual. I don't know, but the Jalen Carter spit was way more disrespectful, bro. It was just way it was. Ain't no way you can skin that. Jalen Carter got to do better. And you know what I'm saying, you already got red flags coming into the league, my boy. With the situation, what you came in from Georgia, DUI and all that stuff like that. So you got to be on your best behavior. And with something like this happening, it just make your brand look bad. And I know, your coach gonna speak up for you, but I know behind the scenes, man, your team and your camp need to be, really like, hey, bro, gotta tighten up, man, on that, man, because you don't want to be out the league before your time. You know what I'm saying? You want to make as much money as you can in the league. And I think that, when you look at that situation with him spitting, that could be a black eye, man. But I think, he'll learn from this. I'm hoping he learned from it and he can see the impact that it had on the game and not do that again going forward. But I think, overall, when you just look at this Eagles team, they're gonna be fine, man. Even after a performance like that game that Dallas gave them, I think that the Eagles will be all right. Jalen Hurts, he played well. Like I said, he didn't get his receivers involved that I thought, like AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. They didn't have the impact that we thought they would have. But like I said again, man, I'm gonna keep stressing throughout this whole podcast, man. It's only week 1, so it's nothing to freak out about, man. We've seen this in the past where teams start off bad and get it going, man. It's just part of the league, the ebbs and flows of the league. But me being a content creator, sports guy, I got to talk about it in real time, and I got to give my honest assessments on it right now, man. So, you know what I'm saying? If your team lost in week 1, don't feel bad. Now, if they lose in week 2, you probably want to start panicking, because then the percentages of it start to go down. Teams that start 0-2 will actually get in the playoffs. So, it's some food for thought for you guys. So, the last game I'm going to talk about is the AFC North game, and that is the Green Bay Packers versus the Detroit Lions. Man, that game right there, I thought Jordan Love played well. He took another step in his maturation process of being an elite quarterback. He did everything right with the ball. And it was a great domination from start to finish, man. They dominated the Detroit Lions. And it looks like, for me, that the Detroit Lions might be missing, you know what I'm saying, those departures of Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson on offense defensive end, they coordinated. I mean, on both sides of the ball, they looked out of sync on both sides, man. And the Green Bay Packers took advantage of that, man. They did what they had to do. They controlled the clock, and they dominated from start to finish, man. Michael Parsons, I didn't think he was going to play. He came and got a sack. It was all start to finish domination. In Detroit, I don't know what they do from here, man. They got to pick the pieces up, because, hey, you still the AFC North champs. You're not gonna get you're gonna get everybody best effort, man. Let me see who they play next, man. Who Detroit got, man? Who Detroit got, man, this week? Week 2. Oh man, I don't see who they. I know they ain't got no bye week this summer. They usually nobody don't have a bye week. Oh, they got the Bears. So they got the Bears next week. 2 teams 0-1. That should be an interesting game. Ben Johnson going back to his old team to play. Uh, we'll see what happens, man. That's gonna be a good game. I'm going with the Lions right now early on, but I can see the Bears winning this game as well, man. Like I say, both sides of the ball look lost, man. When you look at the Detroit Lions defensively, they already had issues last year defensively. They couldn't really stop nobody at times. But Jordan Love just went up and down the field and did what he wanted to on Saturday, man, on Sunday, man. And like I say, man, these new coordinators they got, can Dan Campbell get, right the ship, man? Can these guys, we know they got the talent. Ryan St. Brown, Jared Goff, a guy that we now can start to consider as a top 10 quarterback in the league. The running backs got, they got, Jamar Gibbs. They got the weapons, they got the pieces, man. But let's see if they can bounce back next week, man. So, that's what I'm gonna talk for college for my NFL now. So I want to segue into some college football, man, tonight, man, and talk about some week 2 stuff, man. And I'm gonna get right to it because early on today, I talked about some college football. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't get a chance to talk about all the other college football that I wanted to really dive into with my co-host Greg. And the first thing I want to talk about is Clemson because I'm not gonna really stick on Florida State. Florida State won. We seen what they did. They dominated against the East A&M team that we know that they were most likely going to beat. We got to see what some of these guys like Deuce Robinson and some of the other guys and their talent that they had on display. And it's good to see. I think Deuce Robinson is going to be our version of Johnny Wilson or maybe the Keon Coleman guy. Big receiver. You can't cover him. Go and get the jump balls, things like that. I'm not going to really harp on Florida State because I think we know Florida State took care of business. We'll talk about that down the road. But who I want to talk about is mainly tonight is Clemson. Everybody hyped Clemson up as one of the teams that could be a playoff team. Still can be. It's still early in college football as well. But the last 2 weeks of watching Clemson, man, I'm not sold on Clemson, bro. You open up the season with LSU, you struggle. You only score 10 points. You go into a game against Troy. Think they Conference USA or maybe Sun Belt Conference. And you're down 16-0 going into the half against this team. Struggling. This offense is once you take away the running game and you get Cade Klubnik one-dimensional, this guy's not that guy. Everybody thought Cade Klubnik was, he's a Heisman front runner. I think now with these last 2 performances he's had against LSU and Detroit, I think his name is out of the Heisman conversation right now, man. Clemson got to do some soul searching right now, man, because right now they're not looking like the best team in the ACC. It's not looking good, man. You got a guy like Cade Klubnik, who's I think he's a fifth year, 4-year senior. You would think at this point that you should have the offense clicking, man. You've been in the offense long enough to know everything, and it's still something missing. And I think Clemson got to figure that out, man. They got they got the win, but now you about to open up conference play here soon. So hopefully you guys can get it right, and it'll be good, man. Another team I want to talk about in the ACC is SMU. Another team that we thought that would be good, and they end up losing this week to, let me see, the SMU where it was. I'm not gonna go top 25. I want to see all of it, but SMU lost. They lost, and there was another team that we expected to be one of our maybe a dark horse team or a team that might make a college playoffs. And it's not look good. They lost 42-45. I think it's to a SEC team. But the teams that they thought was going to be looking good in the ACC early on has not been looking good. SMU, Clemson. Both of those teams struggle. And then look at the guys like Florida State, Georgia Tech. Some of these teams are actually playing well right now. So Right now, I feel like the ACC right now, it's still, Clemson's still in there because I'm not going to never rule Clemson out. You got Dabo. He's a great coach. But right now, I think, Florida State right now looking like the best team in the ACC. And I'm not talking, maybe not being biased, but you just look from start to finish, the way, the quality that they're playing on both sides of the ball, they looking good, man. We're going to see what this Miami team do next week against South Florida, man. And then see if they for real legit or not. Because, you know what I'm saying? I don't know about Carson Beck, man. I don't know if this guy is the guy. And speaking of South Florida, man, let's talk about Florida, man. Florida, bro. Let's come to the table, baby. Come to the table, Florida. I know it hurt. I know it hurt. I know it hurt losing to South Florida on your home field. I know it had to hurt, bro. For the last couple years, South Florida been playing y'all boys close. They got over on y'all this year, man. And I don't know who to blame this game on, man, because parts of this game I want to blame on Billy Napier and the play calling late down the stretch. And then I want to blame it on the players. One thing I will say that's been a constant with this team, and I think that's been hurting this team for the longest, is discipline. These players lack so much self-discipline when it comes to certain things. And I know we all struggle with that at times in life, you know what I'm saying, discipline, stuff like that. But for the last couple of years, it's been that same issue with this Florida team. In key moments, of the game, they do something bonehead. I remember a few years back in LSU, the shoe throw helped LSU win. This game, got spit on the player, helped LSU win. Just throughout the course of the year, it's always something with Florida. Just like these bonehead plays are just a lack of mental focus and discipline has been slowing this team down. And I think now the fan base is they've had it. And now that you open SEC play, you got LSU next week. Man, Billy Napier is coaching for his job. He went from being on the highest of highs, now he's to the lowest of lows right now in 1 week. And he got to go out and do his thing this week against LSU, man, because both of these teams are desperate, though. You actually think about it. LSU, they're trying to go for a 3-0 start. It's been a long time since they started 3-0. Florida trying not to fall to under 500. Billy Napier right now is 20-20 as head coach in Florida. That screams mediocrity. So they got to figure it out, man. Florida, man. One of the toughest schedules in the country. They don't have too many games of unranked teams, and this was one of those teams that they should have, we had penciled in as a win. So where the rest of the wins come from, I do not know at this point, man, with this Florida team, because 1 week you look good against Stonebrook or whatever that university you look good against. Now you're playing against a South Florida team that we thought you guys were better than, and you lose. I don't know, man. I don't know about Florida, man. Hey, some people say y'all got a 1-5 season loading up right now with the schedule, but I think Billy Napier can get it done. He did it last year. They finished 8-4. Can he do a similar thing? You still can win the SEC. I say that because you start SEC play, so your season starts this week. If you're serious about the season, Gator fans, y'all would be rooting they win and they don't lose no more games the rest of the season until Florida State. They can win out. You still can get into the SEC championship game. I still do think that's a possibility for Florida fans. They can win out. I still see another loss on them, maybe another 2 losses, but you just start the season off from the behind the sticks right now with a win like this. You want to go in that LSU game 2-0. So that way, if you did lose, you can say, all right, you lost to an LSU team. It's no shame in lose to an LSU team in Death Valley. Now it's a must win at this point. Another team let's talk about we're gonna talk about is let me see. It's the Oklahoma-Michigan game. I thought that was a great game as well, man. 2 teams, fighting, man. And one thing I will say, man, I'm just gonna say caveat: Big Ten can play defense now. I know it was always a stigma about Big Ten and SEC and they can't play with ball with the big boys. I think the Big Ten can play with the big boys now. Watching Ohio State defense, watching Michigan defense, shut down SEC offenses. I think that's we can kill that narrative. I thought the Michigan Oklahoma game was a good game as well. You know, Michigan fans don't feel bad, and I said it to some guys at the bar on Sunday. I say you can't feel bad if you're a Michigan fan because you playing against a Brett Venables team that is 27-1 against freshman quarterbacks. Y'all ain't gonna win that game no way. You know what I'm saying? Not against a guy like that. Brett Venables. Come on, man. And then I think as they think they head they defensive coordinator was is Matt Patricia or is Matt Patricia Ohio State defensive coordinator. Either way it go, you ain't gonna win that game. You know what I'm saying against Brett Venables defense. He was gonna have it ready. I mean, you're asking a guy in Bryce Underwood, freshman quarterback, playing on the road to win you a game, man. It wasn't gonna happen, man. I think the kid tried to do as best he could. He went 9 of 24. He'll learn from it. You know what I'm saying? And it's just crazy because Ohio's Oklahoma quarterback was like that last year. You know what I'm saying? Where he struggled. And it's like a night and day difference once you get under the system, a year in the system, how he looked. I think this Michigan team though overall though, even though they in a losing effort, I still think this team can still have a successful season and still can beat Ohio State. The team defensively they're still good. I think that with a young quarterback, he can learn from this, man. He was the number one quarterback. Man, he got all that NIL money. You got Tom Brady behind you, bro. I think he'll be fine. It's only one loss. Again, you got Big Ten conference play coming on. So again, like I say, a lot of these teams that's losing early, just like I said in the NFL, is only week 1. In college football, it's week 2, going into week 3. You can lose a game now. You can lose hell 2 games. We seen that happen last year. And Ohio State and Clemson both got into the college playoffs. So, you know what I'm saying? These guys can learn from this. And I think they'll be fine. Like I say, Bryce Underwood, freshman QB, man. It's no harm in losing to an Oklahoma team, man. You know what I'm saying? Now, Oklahoma, man, y'all look good. And last year, y'all looked good too, but y'all had a young freshman quarterback. And I think that was the difference. Now he's another year into the system, and now he's playing with a little more confidence into the system. Defense is coming along. I think this Oklahoma team can be a threat in the SEC. So before I get out of here, man, I want to give each conference who my top 3 in each conference in the Power 4. So start with SEC. I think the teams you're gonna have to look out for right now, just after 3 weeks of play of college football, I think the top 3 teams in the SEC, in my opinion, is Texas, Oklahoma, and right now I'm going to say Georgia. No, LSU. I like what these 3 teams have done so far versus Georgia. I know a lot of people like, why you ain't put Georgia in there, but they ain't really played nobody. I think they played freaking Toledo. They played a bunch of cupcake teams so far. We're gonna see what they do this week against. I think they open up with Tennessee and SEC play. Can they get it done? We're gonna find out. When you look at Oklahoma, what they did against Michigan. I mean, a Big Ten team. Even though you played against a freshman quarterback, Michigan, this team still has a lot of talent. They was able to hold it down. I like what they did. Texas, in the losing effort to Ohio State, which I think Ohio State is the best team in the country right now. Defensively, offensively, they got everything. Everything's clicking. To only lose by 7 points. Again, there's no hanging your hat on that one right there, man. Head, you mean a loss is a loss. You learn from it, but I still think Texas is still one of the top teams in the SEC. Moving to the ACC, I got Florida State, Miami, and Clemson as my 3 top teams. Now, we're going to see what Miami is about. They got a big game against South Florida this weekend. Let's see what they can do if they serious about it. Clemson, let me see who they play this week. Who Clemson got? Who do Clemson play? Clemson. Clemson plays. Oh, load it up. Oh man. Try to find it. Mm. They play Georgia Tech. So we're gonna see what these guys about here shortly. SEC play. I think Florida State, we got Virginia this week, I believe. We might have a week off though. We might have a week off. We might have a week off. We just might have a week off. Let me see. Florida State. We got we got the week off this week. So we don't play this week. We got Kent State on the 20th. So we got a week off. But we'll see what these other two schools what they're able to do next week. Clemson against Georgia Tech and Miami against South Florida. And you look at the Big 12, which is probably the conference that right now that I'm up in the air about because a lot of the teams that I thought would be doing good in the Big 12 are struggling. Now I know at Iowa State, they look like right now the team to beat right now. But teams like Kansas State, who I thought would be better, playing better. Teams like Arizona State, who I thought would be playing better. Both of these teams took losses early on. Um, and with the quarterback play that I thought from Sam Levitt from last year, Avery Johnson from last year, you know what I'm saying? I thought these guys would be coming out a lot better. This Colorado State team is 1-2. And they already got a conference loss against Iowa State. Looking like right now, Ohio State is the best team, but I still wouldn't rule out. Arizona might look like they might be a team. BYU right now, those three, but I can still see a team like Arizona State that could get it going. You know what I'm saying? They only got one loss. Now for Kansas State, they already got two losses. Right now, I'm just going to say that they're out of it. They already got two losses at this point in the season. I don't think they're gonna go on a run and not lose no more games. And plus, they got injury to Dillon Edwards, who's been a big part of their offense. They've been struggling since he's been out. I don't see that happening. And I think that's the cream of the crop right now. Those guys. Utah. We always got to throw Utah in there. They could be a runner in there. And then you got Central Florida as well, UCF. This is like I say, this conference is up in the air, man. I can even still see Colorado could possibly win this conference, man, because no one's separating themselves. I thought Kansas was gonna do something, then they end up losing. They end up losing this week to Missouri. I don't know, man. So that's like I say, it's a big toss up in the Big 12, man. Big 10. I'm gonna go with the big dogs. I like Ohio State. Still like Michigan, and then another team that I like Oregon. Those are my three teams that I'm thinking will still probably be the big dogs in that conference. Who's going to probably be most likely one of those three teams to win the Big 12. Oregon, they ain't really played nobody yet. We'll see what they do once they off conference play. But like if I had to choose right now, I'll go with Ohio State, Michigan, and I'm gonna say Penn State as well. I think they're another team that could possibly be. You know what I'm saying? So, those are just my quick thoughts of the big dogs right now. I think looking forward, like I say, it's still early on in college week 2. Now the conference play about to start opening up this week. The games start mattering a lot more. So you're gonna start seeing a lot of these teams separate themselves. Now, some of these guys they already got one loss. Will they be able to right the ship in conference play? Or some of these guys, we're gonna see what the cream of the crop now as college football. We get into the heat of things now that we in conference play. So moving on to my arrivals and departures, man. I'm gonna talk about all my arrivals and departures tonight, man. Oh, my arrivals, man. My arrivals this week. I'm gonna go with some teams that won on the upset. Some of my upset teams this week that happened. Games. Let's go. That was first week. Week 2. You know what? I don't even want to hold y'all, man, because I really don't have no arrivals and departures this week. I thought I had it written down, but I don't. But just going off the dome, man, I'm gonna give a arrival to my boy, Deuce Robinson, Florida State. Man, he had a brilliant game against East Carolina, Eastern Texas A&M. He did his thing, man. Another guy that had a outstanding performance was Luke Altmaier, quarterback, Illinois. Another guy, he had an outstanding game, 45-19 win over Duke. Dominating performance, man, and they showed why they're a top team in the conference right now, man. Illinois, man, got Brett Venable, head coach over there. He was once coach with Wisconsin back in the day. Now he's taking over Illinois program and he's turning that program around. And Luke Altmaier looked good, so that's another one of my arrivals. Departures. Right now, man, I'm gonna go on the NFL side, man, and two guys, man, Russell Wilson and Tua Tagovailoa. Man, these two guys, bro, y'all probably had the worst performances as quarterbacks coming out week one. Both of y'all got some soul searching to do. And if you guys continue to play like this, man, I don't see neither one of you guys being on these teams long. You know what I'm saying? I think they would let Tua go at the end of the season, and Russell Wilson, you will get let go at the end of the season. So you guys are playing for y'all jobs right now, man. Playing for Russell Wilson, actually playing for his NFL career, because I think if it don't work out with him and the Giants this year, I think he might as well just go ahead, retire, be a family man, and go on chill with Sierra, dog. Tua, I think you'll be out the league too, or you're gonna be a glorified backup, man, at this point in your career, man. Because I don't think is it right now, bro. So those are my thoughts on my arrivals and departures tonight, man. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Me talking, just rambling, talking my shit. Co-Pilots podcast. I wish my co-host Greg could have been on tonight, man. Unfortunately, like I said again, he had some troubles and things like that, communication issues and stuff like that with his equipment. So we hopefully get him back on next week on the show, man. Be on the lookout for more content from your boy, man. It's your boy Joe. Check me out on all my social platforms, man. I'm on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, bro, Threads, X. Y'all can find me everywhere, bro. Drop a comment into my posts. Whatever y'all got, man. I appreciate all the love and support. If you came on for 1 second, 10 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes, bro, it's all love this way. It's your boy Joe, and I'm out. Peace.